Hello everyone, I'm here to answer a client question. This time the client question is, when we come from a restricted home environment where we had to listen to someone else all the time, we tend to lose our sense of self. How do we regain that sense of self? How do we refine ourselves? The answer to this question is in the concept called fog, which is given by Suzanne Forward and Donna Fraiser in their book Emotional Blackmail. So when you're raised by people who have always made you listen to them, then you have to follow or you have to break this cycle, which is called fog. Fog is an acronym for fear, obligation and guilt. Okay. What is the fear about? It is the fear of being excluded, being rejected, if we don't live up to their expectations. So it's like people at home give us a box to fit in, give us a mold to fit in, and there are clear consequences which are shown if you don't fit into their box or if you don't fit into their mold. So let's say there is a certain box that is given to me and I need to fit in as an ideal daughter. So I'm told that I have to do certain things to be an ideal daughter. Similarly, probably I'm told that I have to behave a certain way to be an ideal son, or I have to behave a certain way to be an ideal wife or ideal husband, etc. So there is a box which is already defined and I'm expected to fit into it. And if I don't fit in, there are consequences for not fitting in, which is rejection or exclusion. So I'll be scared. So I will try my level best to fit into it because that's what I'm told since the time I'm raised. So that is when I develop obligations, which are behaviors. These obligations are behaviors which are internalized. Like I kind of reason out the fear. I kind of reason out why I should fit into the box given by them or the mold given by them. And I develop certain behaviors so that I reach out to their expectations and I fulfill their expectations and thereby get inclusion or acceptance, right? So fear is external, obligation is internal, because I tend to pick up behaviors which will get me acceptance and inclusion. The G is guilt. Supposing it's not possible all the time to fit into their mold, then what happens to me? Because there's always the fear of being excluded, the fear of being rejected. So I have an extreme sense of guilt. I feel guilty that I'm not being an ideal daughter. I feel guilty that I'm not being an ideal son, or I'm not being an ideal parent. So again, when I'm guilt tripping myself, the cycle continues because I get into the fear mold again, I get into obligation again, and if I don't oblige to fit into the mold, I guilt trip myself. So if you have to, or if you want to find a sense of self, the first step that you need to understand is understand the pattern of fog. Like what are your fears, what are your obligations, what or how you're guilt tripping yourself. So if you can break this cycle, you'll find your sense of self, because fog typically means a vision which isn't clear, vision which is blurred, right? We can't see anything when there is a lot of fog. So here, when there's a lot of fog, which is where there's a lot of fears, there's a lot of obligation, there's a lot of guilt, it blurs out the vision of self. So we lose ourselves. So that is what fog stands for. It blurs your vision towards self. So break the fog, find yourself. Thank you.